What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Locked Up 365. Today I'm going to be going over the difference between consecutive and concurrent. I am going to tell you, you always want to hear the word concurrent if you are charged with multiple charges. You never want to hear consecutive. Real quick, if you're new to my channel and you like jail-related content, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you can be notified as soon as a video touches down. Alright, so we're going to kick this thing off. Basically, concurrent, it has to be one crime spree. Like, you have to get pulled over and get a possession, and you could get trafficking, and you could get resisting arrest all at the same time. That's going to be ran concurrent. If you go across town, rob a bank, go to the other side of town, rob a liquor store, that's going to be ran consecutive because it's two different crime sprees. Alright, so if it's going to be ran concurrent, the possession charge holds 1 year and the resisting arrest holds 1 year. Concurrent means together, so you will only do 1 year. Not 2 years, you'll do 1 year because it's together. It's stacked on top of each other. Now, if it's consecutive and you got 1 year for possession, 1 year for the resisting arrest, consecutive, you'll do 1 year and then you'll do a year behind it. It's not together, it's just behind it. I always wondered how the people I was locked up with, they would go in Walmart, steal a flat screen TV. On the way out, they would get caught. Cops would arrest them. They would find meth, heroin, needles, and everything else on them, and they'd end up with like 3 or 4 charges, and they would only get like 3 years. And the reason for that is because they would run all their stuff together. So once again, if it's ran concurrent, it's all together. Whatever. Like, if you got theft for 3 years and the possession's 1 year, you're only going to do 3 years. That 1 year basically gets buried by the 3. And it's the same thing with a misdemeanor. If you catch any misdemeanor with a felony, the misdemeanor is gone automatic. You don't even need to go to court for it because the felony eats the misdemeanor. Now, this might be different in other states, but Kentucky, this is how it is. If it's all one crime spree, you're good, basically. You're going to do a very limited amount of time because they're going to run it all together. Now, if you do it at 2 separate locations, you're screwed. They're going to run it consecutive, and you're going to get your time stacked on top of the other. So I do want to bring up a big news story right now. The cop that killed George Floyd. He was just charged with multiple charges. He was found guilty. He hasn't been sentenced yet, but just say he has 4 charges, and he gets 10 years on each charge. He's only going to do 10 years because it was all one spree. It happened at one place all at the same time. So it's going to be ran concurrent, and it's all, he would just do 10 years if that's what they give him. They are asking for the judge to go above the max because in every state they go by like a guideline. If you have felonies, it gets a little bit worse. Like if you have a clean record versus a dirty record. So in the guideline, basically, if you have no charges and I have a prior felony arrest, even for a possession charge, you might end up with 12 years as the max. I would end up with 25 just for the same charges because I have a criminal background. So they go off this guideline. Now, obviously, he's a cop, so he don't have no prior history. So he's going to get off on the lightest sentence possible. And I think the max is like, it's 10 or 12 years that he's going to end up facing. So the prosecutor is actually asking for them to go above the max because they know it's all going to be ran concurrent and he's going to get off with like probably 10 or 12 years. And that's really not the kind of justice that everybody is looking for in this case. Everybody just wants cops to be held accountable for what they do because they've been walking around forever just basically thinking they could do whatever they want when they want. I mean, there's been cops arrested for raping women and cops that just shoot people for no reason. Not every cop is dirty, but there has been a lot, especially probably in like the 60s and 70s. It was pretty bad, like a lot more corruption than there is today because of the body cams and, you know, just technology. As it has evolved, the cops had to get little cleaner, you know. I'm sure there is still a lot of corruption and bribing and stuff like that going on, but not every cop is out there to kill a black man or a white man, you know. A lot of people talked about this George Floyd, you know, like, oh, it's a white guy killing a black guy on purpose. Well, what about the white kid that had the same thing happen to him, and I'm pretty sure he was like mentally handicapped, and they put their knee on the back of his neck and killed him. Where was the outrage? You know, each cop should just be accountable. It don't matter what color you are. If they kill somebody, whether it's with a gun, their fist, however, there needs to be a deep investigation. And if they didn't have probable cause to actually do this, like they didn't have a gun, a knife, they wasn't a threat to nobody, that cop should be held accountable. That's just like a regular person. If I go and hold somebody down and I zip tie their hands waiting on the cops and I put my knee on the back of somebody's neck and kill them, when the cops get here, they're going to arrest me for murder. But the whole consecutive versus concurrent, it is pretty basic if you understand it. Me being locked up for so long, I seen mass people going to court, and I literally seen people with the same exact charges. One would go in and be concurrent, the next one go in and be consecutive because it happened at two different places versus all at the same time. So remember, all one crime spree, concurrent. Two different locations, you're going to get waxed and get consecutive. You never want to hear consecutive. But that's all I got on this topic. If y'all want to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, or if you would like to follow me on TikTok, it's all under Locked Up 365, and I'm going to leave the links in the description below. Thanks for watching Locked Up 365. Y'all big for nothing. Y'all got me out here ruining breakfast.
Did first.